Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining your virtual drinking buddy. So I'm sure you can hear the sizzle of the griddle, which means it's time to crack open one of these. Beast Light. So I was trying to come up with a cheap beer to drink. It's been a while since I've done a cheaper beer, domestic beer, what have you, and came across this and I thought, well, this is perfect. So back in high school, my friends and I drank a lot of Beast Ice, or Milwaukee's Best Ice. I don't know how widely used that name is, but that's what we always called it. It was super cheap back in high school. For $11, you could get a case of Beast Ice, cover the deposit and the taxes, and have a little bit of change left over. So, yeah, it was clearly economical choice at the time. We went between that and Pabst Ice. So, didn't drink a lot of the light back then because we wanted that extra little bit of alcohol. So this weighs in at 4.1% ABV, whereas the ice weighs in at 5.9. So clearly more bang for your buck, and it's the same price. However, it doesn't hurt to have a light beer every now and then. So yeah, I just thought I would check it out. I don't know what the calorie count is. Let's see, it's brewed with pride across the USA. Beer, no additives, no preservatives. Recyclable aluminum, union made. Oh, there's actually a 1-800 number, so 1-800-MILLER-6. So, I'm assuming that if it's owned by Miller, then it's actually owned by Molson Coors. So yeah, I paid, I think, $15.99 for a 30-pack, which, I don't know, maybe 6-8 years ago, I was seeing this as low as $10.99 if it was on sale, and I think pretty regularly at $12.99 if you got it at, like, oh, I just had a bug attack me. I think it was about $12.99 if you got it at like a Walmart or something. So, pretty cheap beer. And it's been a few years since I've had one of these. I actually used this when I did a video on Redneck Lunchbox, probably also known as Beer Mosa. It's just orange juice and beer. But with something like that, I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I just picked up a 6-pack of Tall Boys, which I think for those at the time I paid $4.99 for a 6-pack of Tall Boys. And so yeah, I mean, technically I kind of reviewed the beer, but more than anything I was just doing Redneck Lunchbox. So yeah, oh wow, that is crystal clear. I can see my monitor, I can see my hand moving, I can see pretty much every aspect of everything in my camera monitor through this beer, with a few little bubbles in the way. Soapy white head seems to be dissipating rather quickly. And it's a beer-scented beer. It smells like like if you go into a dive bar and it always has that kind of beer smell to it. That's what this smells like. Pretty common with American lagers, so I guess there's only one thing left to do. Cheers. I taste corn. Not even like corn adjunct. I taste like corn. Like your typical beer flavor, but with corn. Like, I don't know if you grew up in a, well, let's just call it what it is, in a poorer house. I know my mom put corn in a lot of things to make it spread, because back in the 80s, a can of corn was like a quarter or something like that. So corn went into a lot of things, so that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like, you had whatever you were actually eating, but then also the corn was there. So, yeah, watery body. Other than that little hint of corn and just generic beer flavor, those flavors are actually fairly subtle. There really isn't a lot of flavor to speak of. It was just that first drink I noticed corn. I'm assuming it's a corn adjunct, but maybe they just, you know, what is the term? When they create mulch, maybe they just germinate. That's the word I was looking for. Germinate some corn kernels, and maybe that little bit of germinated corn still has that corn flavor to it. I don't know. Regardless, that's what I'm tasting. For the money, it's okay. But for the same price, you can get a 30-pack of hams, which just taste a little bit more like beer. And hams is 5% ABV. This is 4.1. If you're looking for a cheap light beer, this might be the way to go. Excuse me, how terribly crude I got the bubbles. Although, now that I've had this, I feel like I need to do a review on Old Milwaukee's Best Light, if they still make that. I haven't seen Old Milwaukee around. Maybe, God, I don't know, maybe with the bad economy over the last 4 years, maybe that was one of the companies that went under, but I kind of feel like I need to compare them. I will say this, I would probably choose this over Keystone, which I think is probably about the cheapest beer out there. Unless you wanted to go with something like Black Camo, where you're paying like $1.75 for a 24-ounce can of blackout juice. But yeah, if you're struggling and you just want a light beer, this will do. And like I said, you can put a little bit of orange juice in this and class it up a little bit, make it a mimosa. Yeah, I got 29 more of these, so I guess 28. I threw one in with the beer brats. So yeah, it's doable. There's not a lot of flavor, so it's not like it'll be like drinking water, really. All right, and that's all I got. Enough rambling. I do appreciate you watching. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button below, and don't forget to tell your friends. And this is the Malted Gentleman reminding you, you only have one liver, so use it wisely.